For 3 years, I've been putting down ideas to write this book. And a month ago, it finally came out. And the reason I wrote it is because for the last 18 years, I've watched the West lose its way. And then as I began to read history, I realized it had lost its way long before I was even born. That is, at the turn of the 20th century, in the early 1900s, people were already proclaiming that the West was dead, the decline of the West. What's happening and why legacy is so important today is because the most beautiful, the most long-lasting legacy that you could leave for your next generation, for your kids, for your grandkids, for your great-grandkids, for people not even born that you don't even know, is to help reverse this current so they can enjoy the society that we enjoyed. They can have some of the benefits that we enjoyed. Why should our legacy to our kids and grandkids be the world's biggest debt? That can't be, we can't be proud of that. And I'm not saying that you did it, but I'm saying that you can be part of the solution. That I'm saying that the greatest legacy that we could leave would be that we put our feet down, we put all of our feet down in the pool, and we turned and we said, we're going to go against the current. Because I know this is crazy for me to suggest this. Because if you're like, man, I don't want to deal with this, I just want to have it easy, peace and affluence. But you know, if everybody chooses peace and affluence, then we're literally going to be part of the problem. That our body is going to be in the way of somebody else who's attempting to run against the current. I don't want to be in the way. I want to help. I want to put my feet down and start to run against this current that all of us know. All of us know it's happening. And all of us can sit there and we get together and we can talk, yeah, there's something, oh, this is terrible. Man, what are they doing now? Man, these politicians can't. We sit there and criticize and criticize. You know, we can criticize until the day we die, and that's not going to change it as we float around the pool. But we can put our feet down and we can start running against that current no matter how hard, no matter how bloody our feet get for a period of time, and we could leave a legacy that the next generation, when they jump in the pool, they've got that current going the right way for a change. Is anybody willing to do that? Absolutely. Absolutely. A leader's example and teachable moments used in mentoring the next generation on how to maintain, if not even increase, the positive growth current. That's the most valuable legacy you can leave. Way more important than leaving your kids money. You leave your kids money, if they don't understand the 5 laws of decline, they'll just go blow it. You leave your kids fame, they'll blow the fame. You leave your kids perks? No, teach them principles. What if you taught them principles, then they could take and they could run in the pool themselves in the right direction because you taught them things of substance, things that truly matter. I left each of my kids $1 million. So what? Do they have the principles to know what to do with it? If they don't, did you really help? Or could you potentially have even hurt them? Because now they won't go out and do the work to learn the principles for themselves. Giving people a free ride in the pool doesn't help. Teach them how to run in the pool for themselves and teach them what direction they need to run in order to help matters. That's a legacy worth leaving. Any area. This is the leadership challenge for us. And I'm telling you, we don't have too many more generations, and there won't be in us. The leadership challenge is that each and every one of us has gifts and talents that we need to start applying consistently, and we need to learn it so well that we can pass it on to someone else. So I love what we do because we're learning leadership and passing it on. How dare me learn stuff and not share it with you? Even if you disagree with me, I have a responsibility to at least share it. You can choose to take it. It's a smorgasbord. You can say, I'm just going to ignore this whole talk. But whether we ignore it or not, it's still happening. We can put our head in the sand and deny it, but we can look. So none of us can deny. I was born in 1967, and I can see what's happened since 1967. And it isn't positive. And if someone was born in 1940, they could see from 1940 to 1967 that it wasn't positive. And we're compounding error after error after error, and this current's going so fast that if we don't put our feet down at some point, no leader is going to be able to stop the current. It's going to be too late. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because it's not too late right now, and it's time to do something about this. Absolutely. So there are three types of liberty that are important for us: spiritual liberty, political liberty, and economic liberty. And all three of them stand or fall together. We need all three of these ideas. And in order to have liberty and actually be able to apply it, if you take a look at the spiritual liberty, all that means is that no one can force another person to believe against his own conscience. Liberty of conscience, to believe. No one here is going to tell you what to believe. That's why I love what we do, because we discuss ideas, and then you take those ideas and you go do your own reading, and you go do your own thinking, and read the great books for yourself. As Tim Marks says, know why you believe what you believe. That's all we ask. Well, I just believe because I heard this once. Nope, that's not good enough. Start doing the reading and thinking on your own. What about political liberty? Yeah, well, if you take a look at, for the United States, for example, we created a constitution. Why? Because we believed that where law rules, oppression and dictatorship cannot satisfy its every whim. In other words, we either have a rule of law or we have a rule of tyrants. And we said, no, a tyrant can't just choose to throw someone in jail, that every citizen has rights. And we lifted up rule of law, and we enjoyed a freedom that was the envy of the world. And people came from everywhere to come to America to enjoy this rule of law. In Canada, very similar. But now we see there's less and less rule of law, and all of us are suffering from that loss of liberty. Now, but some would say, yeah, but we need to have some tightening up because there's too much license. There's too many crazy things going on. Let me explain real quickly the difference between liberty and license. There is rules of the road. When you decide to go home tonight, you're going to follow certain rules of the road, aren't you? You're probably going to drive on the right side of the road. You're probably going to be pretty close to the speed limit. Plus minus 10 or so, you're going to be close. And you're going to, typically use your blinker if anybody's around at least. And if you see a red light, you'll probably stop. That doesn't mean, gun it, right? There's certain rules. Now imagine if we said, I can't believe people are denying me my freedom. I'm going to go out on the road and do whatever I want. License. I'm going to drive on the left side of the road. Another guy says, depending on, if I turn to the right, it's on the right side. If I turn to the left, I'm going to drive on the left side. Another one says, I'm going to flip back and forth. If we just allowed everybody to do whatever they want on the roads, how many people don't want to drive anymore? All of a sudden, all of us lost our freedoms because none of us are disciplining themselves with the responsibility to follow the rules of the road. Imagine what happens in society when everybody demands to have ultimate license. If everybody does whatever they want, there's no order at all, and all of us lose our freedoms. That's a big point, guys. There has to be ordered liberty. Viktor Frankl described it this way. He said, freedom is only part of the story and half the truth. That is why I recommend that the Statue of Liberty on the East Coast be supplanted by a statue of responsibility on the West Coast. You know what the type of people we're looking for? Chris Brady wrote a book called Rascals. You know what we're looking for? We're looking for a whole bunch of people that were born in that pool and were just kind of going on with the current. And one day kind of woke up and said, you know what? This current's going the wrong direction. Only a rascal would put his feet down. Only a rascal would actually turn to his neighbor and said, hey, you want to put your feet down with me? Let's turn this thing. Well, let's be crazy enough to think that we can turn this thing. Even though we spotted them 100 years going the wrong direction, we can turn this thing. Wouldn't that be something? Let's be a group of rascals. Like the old saying go, any dead fish can float downstream. It takes a live one to swim against the current. Let's swim against the current.